Have you considered what seems to trigger your anxiety? Are there certain situations, foods, people, or places that intensify your symptoms? And when do you feel calmer or more in control? Welcome to Quieting Anxiety. I'm Dr. Monica Frank, and today we're exploring how to use the Mood Log feature in the Quieting Anxiety app to better understand the patterns that influence your anxiety, so you can take practical steps toward managing it more effectively. Let's begin with a grounding breath. Inhale slowly and exhale gently. Let your shoulders drop just a little more. Now imagine you're sitting near a quiet stream, the kind that gently flows over smooth stones with soft sunlight flickering through the trees above. With each breath, let the sound of that stream soothe your thoughts, just as the water smooths the rocks over time. Allow yourself to settle into this moment, as if you're being held gently by the rhythm of nature. This time is for your growth, your understanding, and your well-being. This episode is especially focused on using the Mood Log in the Quieting Anxiety app. If you're listening on an iPhone, you might be wondering how to use the app alongside the podcast. Right now, the app is available for Android devices only. To get the full benefit of this podcast, including access to interactive tools like the Mood Log, the Cognitive Diary, and other CBT-based features, I recommend using an inexpensive or used Android tablet with Wi-Fi. You can usually find one for less than the cost of a single therapy session. It's a small investment with the potential for meaningful change. If you've already been recording your moods, anxiety symptoms, and events or activities in the app, now is a great time to begin exploring your entries and uncovering helpful insights. If you haven't started yet, that's okay too. You can simply listen now and return to this episode later once you've recorded more data. When I ask clients about their anxiety triggers, they often respond with general statements like, I panic when I'm driving, or I get anxious around people, or I worry about everything. But through consistent tracking, we can usually identify more specific or even underlying triggers. I've seen this many times in my practice. For example, I've had a number of clients who had been doing well suddenly experience a spike in anxiety. Through tracking, we discovered a recent change in their diet, specifically an extreme high-protein plan that seemed to be contributing. Without that data, we might not have identified the cause. The Mood Log in the Quieting Anxiety app helps you answer questions like these with clarity. It removes the guesswork. Rather than relying on memory, which is often shaped by your current emotional state, you're working with real-time information. You might think your anxiety is constant, but once you track consistently, you'll likely begin to see variation. Times when you feel more grounded, and times when your symptoms spike. That awareness is the beginning of change. The Mood Log lets you use facts to fill in the blanks, rather than making them up. We often believe something when we have no evidence because it was something we were told or it happened once before. For example, many people believe comfort food helps them to feel better. However, research shows that the concept of comfort food is a myth, that moods are not different after eating comfort foods than after eating other enjoyable foods or not eating at all. But we often continue to believe something without evidence. The Mood Log helps you obtain the evidence. Although you can record your anxiety, situations, and symptoms outside the app, the Mood Log makes this process much easier. The app lets you rate your anxiety throughout the day in 15-minute increments and record what you were doing at the time, who you were with, and what was going on. You can add custom symptoms, triggers, or coping actions, and then analyze your patterns using graphs and averages. Maybe you're not sure what triggers your anxiety, but you suspect certain social settings or particular events or people play a role. You can customize your activity list to reflect those events and see how they correlate with anxiety ratings. Or you may discover that your anxiety improves after a short walk, after listening to a relaxation audio, or after stepping outside. These are valuable insights, and they're unique to you. Sometimes anxiety is linked to physical symptoms, like headaches or stomach discomfort, or to specific times of day. You can add these symptoms to the mood list and spot trends that aren't always obvious in the moment. To get the most accurate results, consistency matters. Try to log even when you're feeling okay, because those entries help you see what's helping to keep anxiety down. Be specific when labeling your actions. Talking to coworkers might impact you differently than talking to a friend. And think about what your ratings mean. What does a 3 feel like compared to a 7 or 10? That clarity helps make your logs more meaningful over time. Whether you're working on your own or with a therapist, using the mood log puts you in the driver's seat. Instead of saying, "I feel anxious all the time," you might start to say, "I've noticed my anxiety increases when I skip breakfast and jump into a full day of meetings, but it tends to ease when I take a short walk around midday." Then you're no longer reacting to anxiety, you're understanding it. This kind of data can also help you evaluate how effective your anxiety treatment is. For instance, if you recently started using relaxation audios, you can track how your anxiety shifts after listening. Or if you're trying exposure therapy, you can record your anxiety before and after those experiences and monitor progress over time. Even if you didn't initially record these details, you can go back and add them to past entries to complete the picture. You can also use the mood log to understand changes within a single day. Because the app lets you log every 15 minutes, you can use it to monitor anxiety levels throughout a stressful event, like public speaking or traveling. You might see that your anxiety was highest just before the event, but gradually decreased as it went on. Another powerful feature is the ability to compare how your mood or anxiety varies with different people, environments, or activities. You might discover that walking alone increases tension, while walking with a friend lowers it, or the opposite. By customizing your action list with specific names or situations, you'll get even clearer insights. And remember, you're not limited to anxiety. You can track pain, energy, sleep quality, anything that fluctuates and might affect how you feel. You can then see how those physical factors correlate with your anxiety. The more detailed your entries, the more helpful your analysis will be. The mood log is only limited by your creativity. It becomes more effective the more you use it, helping you connect the dots and understand your experiences in new ways. You're not just tracking symptoms, you're learning from them. You're building a more accurate picture of what influences your anxiety and what helps manage it. This is a powerful way you can begin to take back control. So here's your task this week. Track your anxiety and associated actions consistently for several days. Then use the Analyze feature to look at the patterns. What tends to increase your anxiety? What helps reduce it? Begin to notice those patterns. And most importantly, let them guide your decisions about how to respond to anxiety more effectively. The graph feature and analysis in the mood log becomes more accurate the more entries you record. So try and record frequently throughout the day with different situations. If you don't see patterns right away, a few weeks of recording should allow you to see your anxiety variations more clearly. And here's your reflection question. What new insight can I gain about my anxiety if I track it more consistently? What symptoms or events can I add to my mood log to help me track my anxiety? And be sure to continue rewarding yourself with each step you take and continue practicing the relaxation and mindfulness methods. And if you skipped around in these episodes or missed some early ones, now is a great time to go back and catch up. Each episode builds on the last to give you a full toolbox for managing anxiety. Let's close with a few calm breaths. Inhale and exhale gently. Imagine yourself back at that quiet stream. The sunlight still dancing on the water, the gentle current continuing its steady rhythm. Now picture each mood log entry you make as a smooth stone placed gently along the stream's edge. With time, those stones begin to form a path that helps guide you toward greater awareness, confidence, and calm. Each breath, each moment of reflection adds to that path. You're not just learning to manage anxiety, you're learning to trust the direction you're creating. Until next time, keep practicing, keep breathing, and keep moving forward.